after hearing about what planet they were on. As she entered the room, she locked the door behind her and placed a chair on the handle. Her roommate luckily wasn't in at the moment. She then bent down under her bed and pulled out a small little box. As she opened the box, a circular black sphere-shaped ball was inside. "What happened to him? He looks so ugly," Rayton said. "You do know he will be like that for a while now," Rayton said. Vorden then stopped walking forward as he had reached the torn-apart body on the floor in the stands. All that was left of Ian was his 2 legs that had been torn from the waist down. "Hey, wait! Check the man's trousers. He had that advanced tier beast crystal, don't you remember? Now that he's dead, we may as well take it." Although Vorden didn't like disrespecting the dead and didn't often agree with Rayton, in this case it made sense to not let such a precious thing go to waste. After searching Ian's trousers, though, there was no such luck, and no crystal was found. "Do you really think it's a good idea to follow that thing?" Rayton asked. "I need to see if that thing was really Quinn. You know, if I don't, the little one will punish us." Vorden then looked around and held out his hand, attracting one of the chairs from the stands, and held it in his hands. He held it in front of him like a shield as he walked forward. The bloodsucker continued to drag Ian's body across the floor, looking for somewhere safe to eat its meal. It turned and turned several corridors until it finally arrived at what looked like resting quarters. 35 of 100, 42 of 100. As the beast continued to suck Ian's blood, a notification screen appeared slowly, rising up until eventually the number had hit 100. 100 of 100. Sufficient blood has been consumed. Transformation will now end. Your mind is starting to stabilize. Just then, shooting pain once again started to enter Quinn's body, only this time it was starting to revert back to normal. His claw-like hands began to shrink down and go back to shape to what they once were. His incredibly tight skin softened around his body and face. His ears were no longer pointed, and his teeth too returned to normal, and finally, the white in his eyes could be seen once again. Then, images started to flash into his head. Everything that he had done while he was the bloodsucker. Even though he had no control, he felt like he was there every step of the way. "Vorden, what's he doing here?" Then more images started to flash into his head, and finally, he remembered slicing a man in half. "That was me!" "First human killed. High-level user detected. Reward, instant level up. Congratulations, you are now level 10. Evolution process has begun." Evolution process? Just then, Quinn's heart started pounding harder than before. His veins all around his body started to show as the blood rushed through. Quinn could feel every little part of his body, but it wasn't a nice feeling. It felt like his blood was made of spikes as it went through and around his body. He could feel it tearing everything apart. Just then, a footstep was heard entering the room. Vorden had arrived. "Quinn? Get away!" Quinn groaned out as the pain continued to shoot through his whole body. "Maybe I can help." "I said get away!" Quinn's voice sounded deep and dark as he lifted his head. Vorden could see his eyes were now glowing red. "Hey, Vorden, I think you better listen to the kid. He could be turning into that thing again," Rayton said. But it was too late. Vorden had taken one step too many and was now within striking distance.
Want to watch more episodes of my vampire system? Follow Pocket FM Fantasy Chronicles. You can watch the next episode here in the playlist.